Welcome back, everybody. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the best Damn EDC, and it's time for another EDC Weekly. This time, I'm doing a complete my carry, or complete your carry. It's called complete my carry, but I'm completing your carries. So I asked you guys to ask me questions so I can help you find the gear that you're looking for. That's all this is about. And many of the EDC Weeklies moving forward will be this format. So I hope you enjoy it. This was actually more fun for me to plan because it created a little bit of a challenge for me. So I hope you guys get something out of this and enjoy it as much as I did. So with that said, this is EDC Weekly, Complete My Carry, Episode 1, and let's do the damn thing. The very first submission this week comes from Mike Dundon, who you can find over on Instagram at mdundon26. What you see in this photo, first up we have the knife in the top of the photo is a Cold Steel Recon 1. He also has a holster in the bottom left of the photo. That is a Tale of Knives holster, not sure which model, but in that he has a Victorinox Compact in black, as well as an Olight S1R Baton 2 and a Fisher Space Pen bullet over in the pin loop. In the bottom right of the photo is a Mighty Hanks 007 black Mighty Mini handkerchief, and then on top of that he also has a Zippo with an American flag on it. And above that he has a Travax Link lanyard in black leather with a Leatherman Squirt PS4 in black as well. And then the wallet you see in the middle is a Travax Element. It's in Mississippi Mud, which he says was accidentally ordered instead of black, but he loves the patina after 2 years. So Mike says, I broke my Timex Expedition watch. I work in construction, so I'm very hard on things. I need a hard use watch under $150, preferably not digital. So I have like 4 or 5 options for you. First up, best bang for buck watch on the market, in my opinion, Casio Duro. It's like a $50 quartz dive watch, and they're tough, but also it's 50 bucks. So if you break it, just get another one. It is going to be far more durable than that Timex Expedition. The Timex Expedition watches look good, but they're not super rugged. This Casio Duro will be much more rugged. Also, a G-Shock. They have analog G-Shocks, the GA2100. It's a lot of people call them the Casio. It looks like a Royal Oak, but it's a G-Shock. And then the last few are going to be Citizen watches. All of these should be under $150, like the Garrison or Chandler. Both of those are really good. The only thing is that I don't think any of these have sapphire crystals. None of them. I think they're all mineral crystal, which means that they are going to scratch. So just keep that in mind. Once you get beyond like that 150, really into the $200 or $300 range, you're looking at watches with sapphire crystals, which really ups that ruggedness. But the last one that I'm going to mention is a Citizen Pro Master Diver. That watch is going to be the nicest out of all of these, and it is technically like a $230 watch. However, they go on sale very, very, very regularly. It is a very rugged watch, and it will be the best and most rugged out of all of these. And I know that they go on sale down to 150 or so regularly because that's where I bought mine. Hope that helps. Lots of watch options. Thank you for sharing the submission, and hopefully I helped answer your question. So the next submission comes from Saedo, I guess that's their Instagram handle, and they're after a new wallet, but let's look at what they're carrying first, and then we'll go from there. So first up in the photo, we have a Google Pixel 5, which I believe was used to take the photo, but he also has that in a D-brand leather case. The watch that's sitting on top of that case is a Withings ScanWatch 38mm. He keeps that on a Barton leather watch band. Below that is a TPT slide, and then the wallet that he's currently carrying is a Bellroy note sleeve. The flashlight that's beneath that is an Olight Baton 3, and then next to that are his earbuds. Those are the Sony WF-1000 XM4s. His key organizer at the bottom is a KeySmart 2.0 extended, and then the knife you see in this photo is a Civivi Elementum with a Metin Boss bead. The pry bar is a Lynch Northwest All Access Pass 2.7 double wing, and then all of that is sitting on top of a Mighty Hanks Windy Mighty Mini. And then to the far right with his key fob is a flashlight. That is the Nightcore Tinny 2. Tinny, tiny, it's T-I-N-I. He says, my carry has evolved from my previous submission. Almost half of this stuff is new from the last few months after growing addicted to your channel/community. Missing is my Skeletal CX, literally missing. I can't find it since a work trip, so I'll have to replace that. But what I'd highlight today is the Elementum. It was my first knife ever. I love it, and it just feels so natural to have. I think I've been training myself all this time with things like the KeySmart or Skeletal. I've been getting a few more budget knives to explore as I haven't figured out what my Grell knife would be yet. A few Kershaws, a Buck, Kaiser. but I keep coming back to the Elementum. The way it feels, the way it opens, the fidget factor. And then they said, I guess what I'd be interested most in is a new wallet. I'd like a slim front card type, but it also needs to carry cash along with those cards. So there are a few options. A shameless plug for me is gonna be the guy next door, Rustic Heirloom. This is the Hitchhiker and what I carry. So I have cards in the front, and then there is this, under this button flap in the back, you can put cash right there, halved, if you want. I love this. This has become my favorite leather wallet, but also if you want something, the problem with these is availability. He does them in drops. He's a growing leather maker, and keeping up with demand is kind of tough. And there will be 50-ish of these next month. September 16th, we're dropping this exact version of this. So you can be quick on the draw there. But another great option from another maker is the OpenSea Leather Topsider. It is meant to hold halved cash. It folds in half. It's like an envelope style. I really like that. If you carry more cash, that might be a little bit better for you. But also, I would say keep your eyes peeled, because maybe this weekend or early next week, I'll be dropping a video on my favorite hard wallets, and some of those are actually decent at carrying cash. So a few options there that I hope will help. So thank you again for submitting, and I hope I answered your question sufficiently.
I'm sure you guys are all pretty familiar with the sponsor of today's video, Big Idea Design. They make really awesome titanium pocket tools like the TPT slide, the bit bar inline, and the everyday screwdriver, and many more. But they're really known for their awesome everyday pins that can take just about any refill you can throw at them. But their two most recent releases are their Fountain EDC and the Slim Bolt Action. The Fountain EDC is a pull cap style fountain pen with a Bach 180 stainless steel extra fine nib, and it also comes with a Kaweco mini converter that you can put inside if you want. As a lefty, I've never really been a big fan of fountain pens because I've really struggled with writing with them, but this one has actually worked really well, and it's been in my pocket every single day since it arrived. And while the Slim Bolt Action doesn't really look all that different from the rest of their pens, the Slim Bolt Action is something that's truly new from them. For starters, it's a fixed length and doesn't adjust in size like their other pens. This one actually adjusts on the inside. There's an internal adjustment, so it still takes a staggering amount of refills. That's adjustable through a hole in the end of the pen. Just use a T6 Torx and you can adjust for bigger or smaller refills. But there's also two caps that it ships with, one that's an open-ended so you can adjust the refill on the fly, or one that's closed so you can put that one on for a cleaner look, or if you have a go-to refill. Every Slim Bolt Action comes with a titanium Damascus bolt that you can optionally add, and it also has an ambidextrous clip. Both of these pens from Big Idea Design come in the same finishes and materials that you're used to, so there's three types of titanium: raw, stonewashed, and DLC black, as well as copper, brass, and zirconium. And if you want to spice up your Slim Bolt Action, you can add a titanium Damascus clip as well. The Fountain EDC is available on Big Idea Design's website right now, but the Slim Bolt Action is actually a Kickstarter campaign that is live right now. To check out everything Big Idea Design has to offer, hit the links in the description down below, and on their website you can use coupon code CARRYON for 10% off at checkout. And if you do, it'll help support what we do here. But once again, I want to thank Big Idea Design for sponsoring this video.
So this next mission comes from Austin Cupp, or Austin J. Cupp, and the biggest thing to note about this is that it's not a full carry, but I do think this is the biggest sore point for most people when it comes to everyday carry, and especially myself: keys. So we're just gonna take a look at this. He says he has a Mammoth locking carabiner and a whole mess of keys. That's the whole description. And then he says, I like that it's a sturdy carabiner that locks, but it's too bulky and loud. It beats shoving them all in my pocket. I'm in desperate need of a good key system. I have close to a dozen keys and 2 fobs for cars. I'd be okay with isolating the car keys, but need something to get rid of a heavy jingling carabiner. Thanks. So for all of your loose keys, not your car fobs, I would suggest a key bar. There is an extension screw set that will hold up to 24 keys. So double the capacity you need. So you can choose some shorter screws than that. But there's also the Key Smart that comes in the Pro and Rugged versions, and those will hold up to 14 keys. So there are a couple of options for key organizers that will work for you, although you might have to drill out the holes on the keys to make them fit the posts. As for your fobs, I would suggest getting 2 sets of magnetic quick releases from someone like Urban Carvers. Keybar has their own mag nuts. Key Smart has a magnetic quick release. They're very easy to find. So then when you get those 2 sets of magnetic quick releases, you use one polarity on the keychain and then the opposite polarity on both of your key fobs. And then when you switch cars or whatever, you snap that one onto your keys, and then that one little reverse polarity that you're not using, put that in your house somewhere, and you can snap the key you're not using to that. And you can just switch them out. That's what I used to do. The biggest suggestion I could have for you is don't carry all 12 keys. If you don't need all 12 keys every single day, I carry 2 or 3 keys on me, and then I leave the rest either in my bag or in my truck or at home. Like, I don't need them, but I do have probably 15 or more keys. I only need 3 on a regular basis. So I hope that helps. And thank you again for submitting. And you have an entry into the giveaway, a second entry into the giveaway, as well as everybody else in this video. I feel like I should just mention that. The next submission comes from Javier, or buho_EDC over on Instagram. And in this photo, we have an Urban EDC Vox 5.5. That's the knife at the bottom. He has a tactile turn Helix bolt action pin with a Damascus bolt. The wallet that you see in the top left is an open sea leather gun deck, and then the flashlight beneath that is an Olight Baton 3 Eternal, so it's the copper version. And then he has a whole bunch of pocket trash in the top right. He has a Hogdoggins D6 dice and brass, a Shit Hit the Fan EDC chill pill, so SHTF EDC chill pill in copper and honeycomb resin, a Shire Post Mint Memento Mori coin in Mokume Gane. And then there's a Grim Pocket Still Time coin in copper. And then finally, a Craft & Lloyd coin Memento Sapiens in brass. Javier says, the F5.5 is something that recently came in, but it has quickly become my favorite knife. From the style to the ergos, I feel like it's perfect. The tactile turn bolt action pin is one of my oldest high quality pins. It was actually the second pin I bought. I still don't understand how it went from a $40 pin to $170. But then shit happens and it's made purchasing slightly cheaper pins a lot easier. I'm a nighttime box truck driver, and the flashlight helps me do my morning checkup on the truck, and it helps me see inside the box when loading and offloading. I have wanted to change the light in the past, but I simply can't live without the magnetic tail cap or reversible pocket clip. And now I know I carry a lot of pocket trash, but there are a lot of times where I'm waiting for a load and I just pass the time on YouTube and fidgeting with my trash. Thank you for helping me discover this community. I've always been into EDC, but didn't know about this side of the community. FYI, my wife doesn't appreciate that you pulled me into this rabbit hole. Not the first time I've heard that. In fact, someone told me that at the coffee shop just yesterday. He says, I'm looking for he says adorable. I'm guessing he means affordable way to carry all of my pocket trash so they aren't running around freely in my pockets. I've been using the little sack/pouch that came with the Olight, but I just don't like how it feels. So my recommendation would be this right here. This is the Zero Feud Compact Utility Pouch, or Cupp as he's called it. It's basically a little wallet. You can use this as a soft wallet, but you don't have to. You unzip it and you've got storage for all sorts of little knickknacks. This would be the perfect little pocket-sized pouch for your pocket trash. The dimensions on this are about the same size as a credit card, 3.5 by 4.5 inches, so a little bit bigger, but very, very compact, very slim, perfect for small items, and it has soft hook and loop on the outside. If you're asking for an affordable option, these are $25, and I think this is gonna be the best bet in terms of pouches. This thing is tiny, but big enough to hold all the stuff that you have in this photo. I hope that helps, and thank you for submitting. The fifth and final submission comes from Benjamin, or Carpton Crane. He's got a fish, or it's a typo, but I copied and pasted and I have Carpton Crane here. Okay, check it out. Maybe that's right, maybe it's wrong. But in this photo, we have the Spyderco UK PK. That's the knife that's kind of propped up. He has a Lumentop EDC1 as his flashlight with a little bead on there. He has a Leatherman style PS as his multi-tool. That's beside the big Idea Design mini click, and then finally next to that is a Civivi mini banter. He also has a leather holster here of some sort, but I don't know who it's from, but it's just a leather pocket organizer. Benjamin says, not too much to say about this stuff. I change up the knife, non-locking outside, locking at home because of laws, but otherwise it stays very practical and lovely stuff that does everything it needs to. I'm looking for a very small copper flashlight, smaller than a AAA, to finish up my tiny copper carry. Otherwise, lots of stuff on the wish list, but very happy. So I have a few recommendations. I know you're asking for something smaller than a AAA, but do look into, don't sleep on the Prometheus Beta QRV2. It is bigger, I think, than this EDC1, maybe, but it's really, really, really high quality. I really like the QRV2. But if you need something a little smaller, there's no shortage of options. Rovivon, they've got the Aurora A9 Pro. That comes in copper. Mech Army X3S, That also comes in copper. And the X3S, it's basically an Olight i1R, but it's copper, right? It's a little bit smaller than the i1R Pro, but it's basically the same thing. Lumentop GT Nano, that one is technically smaller, but it's got a really big head on that flashlight. So I've always found them a little awkward to carry, but it is a super bright, small flashlight that uses a very tiny battery. So might fit the bill for you. And then the final one, we talked about one earlier above, but it was the second version of it. The Nitecore Tinny originally came in a copper variant. I think they still make those. I think you can still buy them, but I don't think that they've made the version 2 in copper. So I think the best one out of all of these is gonna be that Rovivon Aurora A9 Pro. Hope that helps. And thank you for submitting. Now, I did say that that was the last submission, but I do wanna throw one honorable mention in, and I think that's because we're doing this a little different now. I'm not looking at the photos, I'm mainly just looking at the questions. So I think one way to kind of mix this up is to pick one favorite submission from the photo and include that as an honorable mention for the Complete My Carry. So answer all your questions based on the question, share your photo, but then pick one that really appeals to me aesthetically. So with that said, the honorable mention this week is Michael Escay, who has been following this channel as long as I can remember. He is Watch and Carry over on Instagram, and he does watch modification. He modifies Casios like the World Time or the Royale. Is that what it's called? Yeah, the Casio Royale. He modifies those and does some really cool work on those. So if you want one customized, you can have him customize one for you. But this photo was just put together super well. It's super budget friendly, but it's color coordinated to a T, and it looks great. So we have a Rovivon Aurora A3 here, an Orient Neptune, that's the watch that you see there. That's on a Crafter Blue CB10 olive rubber strap. He has a Nitize Inca collapsible pin, and two last things are the knives. The Victorinox Swiss Champ, he has aftermarket green scales on that, and then a Civivi Mini Bull Mastiff, which he has added a quick stud thumb stud to. It's just put together really well. I thought it looked great, and the photo's nice. So there you go. Thank you for sharing, Michael. Thank you all for sharing. Anybody who was featured in this video gets an additional entry into the giveaway, including the honorable mention. Giveaway is gonna be coming up pretty soon. I'd say probably next month or the following month, and it's gonna be better than last. I'm gonna give away a whole EDC. If you wanna be entered into that, just go to edcw.co, submit your carry, answer the questions, right? Ask me questions about how to fix and complete your carry, and you might make it into the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I definitely enjoyed making this as much as I used to, so it's been good for me. I got past whatever it was that was holding me back from making them before. I enjoyed this. It was a challenge and fun. I hope you did too. And if you saw anything in this video or any of the recommendations from me, that's all going to be linked in the description down below. Those will be affiliate links, so if you purchased anything using those links, I get a little bit of a kickback, help support what we're doing here. But you can also go to patreon.com/bestdamnedc to support there. I will see you guys in the next video, and until then, carry on.